What movie never fails to make you cry? Green Mile. The whole movie is freaking sad and just tears you apart in the end. The Fox and the Hound. Y'all know why. Hug your pets and care for them. Rocky 1976, I cry mostly because I relate heavily to the build-up in the story where Rocky is struggling just to live. The outburst he makes to Mick about how he got screwed over in life hurts a lot. Also, the scene just before the final fight where he doubts himself and says that he just wants to be more than a bum. Love, Simon. The scene between him and his mother, Jennifer Garner, when she talks about how him being in the closet made her feel helpless, gets me every time. The thought of watching your kids struggle through something like that is hard, and I imagine my father feeling the same way while I figured myself out. Final Fantasy 15 LOL. The actual movie and the game starts off as a bro type of thing that's actually masquerading as a tragedy. Guy loses his kingdom, his father, his fiancé, his people, his uncle, and then he has to die himself to save the people that remain. Graves of the Fireflies just fucked me up, but I was so excited for it being so overwhelming I didn't actually get sad. I just knew it was really sad. My sister died since I've last seen it, so I think if I rewatched it I would probably be suicidal. Schindler's List. The I could have saved more scene where Schindler has an emotional breakdown after the workers gave him a ring engraved with the quotation "whoever saves one life saves the world entire," and was then comforted by the workers. I cry every time I watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off during the scene where Cameron is freaking out about his dad loving the car more than him. No idea why, cause I had an excellent relationship with my dad, but that scene just gets me. Ending of Field of Dreams. No one warns you when you have your last catch with your dad, and I think the movie did a great job portraying what a lot of grown men wish they'd have one more time. The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Girl Interrupted, Saving Mr. Banks, Old Yeller, the Barbie movie, Beaches. There's other ones, but these are the only ones I can think of at the moment. Encanto. For some reason the concept of families being broken and coming back together with all the emotional music and shit has me hysterically crying every time. Every damn time. The Impossible and the younger brothers see Lucas. If the waterworks haven't started by then, it'll be when Dad sees Lucas. Inside Out, Take Her to the Moon for Me fades away. Meet Me in St. Louis, specifically the scene where Judy Garland sings, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," then Margaret O'Brien flips out because they're moving. Big Hero 6. When Hiro tries to run after Tadashi, after the explosion. The memorial scene. Really, any movie or show that shows the pain of losing a close sibling. The ending to Apollo 13 gets me. I know it is going to happen, but knowing real people had to deal with those emotions is a little overwhelming. So many. Manchester by the Sea. Children of Men. Edward Scissorhands. The Green Mile. The Shawshank Redemption. Good Will Hunting. Dead Poets Society. Millennium Actress. Every time. I wanted to show it to friends once and thought the company would override the crying. It did not. Dad, you wanna have a catch? Or, when Billy Crudup tells the story of taking his dad to the river at the end of Big Fish. Dumbo. ESP, the part when the mama is in chains and the mouse takes Dumbo to visit her in that song. Baby of Mine. Oh God. Simon Birch, My Dog Skip, The Lion King. Rotten Tomatoes just released their list of movies guaranteed to make you cry too. Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. Gets me every fucking time. Oh, and the never-ending story fucking Artax. The only real answer here is Marley and Me. X200B. Any story involving humans dying doesn't matter. Only dogs. Where the red fern grows. As a boy that never got to have dogs growing up, I related to the main character so much. Secondhand Lions. Josh Lucas tearing up while laughing reading his uncle's book gets me in the feels every time. Forrest Gump, when he asks Jenny if their son is smart or like him. And when they tear down her childhood home. What Dreams May Come. The scene where he is reunited with his dog in heaven gets me every time. Central Station or Centro de Brazil. I yearn for my father. I yearn for everything. 3. Up. I have to skip the entire beginning of that movie unless I feel like crying that day. Miracle in Cell No. 7 2013. I cried for literally the entire second half of the movie. Home Alone 2. Every time I see Trump I cry of anger. How could Americans vote for that guy? Star Wars Episode 3, You Were My Brother Anakin. I loved you. Gets me every time. I've only seen it twice now, but the beginning of Searching hits too close to home. Always a tie between The Elephant Man and Pawnette. Both multi-Kleenex box worthy. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode with Will's dad gets me every single time. The ending to Schindler's List. I could have done more gets me every time. Honestly, any movie where the dad cares about the kid, oh fuck you dad, crying face, crying face. The end of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty will have me sobbing every time. I always get teary-eyed when I watch the last scene to Driving Miss Daisy, not the movie, but that special scene. My friends, you bout to know one. Does YouTube count? Because the end of Lotfi 2021 never fails to do that. The Dirt, specifically the part where Skylar, Vince Neil's daughter, dies. Sex tape with your mom, cause I get emotional seeing how good I fucked her. The Elephant Man. I must have been a great disappointment to her. Gump's goodbye speech at Jenny's grave always hits the feely button. Legend of the Fall. Even at 43 years old, it still gets to me. The Green Mile for sure. Kabi Kissy Kabi movie. Highlander. Who Wants to Live Forever is such a tearjerker. Atonement, I sob every time. My Girl also gets me every time.